to week 3 of the summer reading vlogs, summer TBR reboot. I cannot lie, it's Sunday because I'm trying to start these vlogs on Sunday, and I came home from church and just immediately put my pajamas back on because I'm tired. So anyway, makeup might be a little smudged, the glasses went back on. We're here to pick out the books that we're going to be reading this week, and by we, obviously I mean me. So this is the first week that my mood read will actually be a mood read. It won't be a buddy read. The first 2 weeks I don't know why I put up 3. The first 2 weeks that I have been doing this, I've had buddy reads that I've just used those books as my free pick. So I genuinely don't know what I want to pick. I'd like to do a reread because I did not enjoy the pick that the wheel had for me last week, which was Love Amid the Ashes. Go check out last week's vlog to hear all of my thoughts on that. But I was not a fan, so I think I'd like to pick a book that I know I've liked in the past, and I think I might know, but we're gonna see what the wheel picks, and then we'll go with the mood read. And yeah, we'll kind of do it by vibes, because I'm also not going to read these books at the same time this week. I don't typically like to do that. It just kind of happened because of the buddy reads. Okay, let's just spin and see what we're working with first and foremost. This is so fun. I've genuinely been looking forward to this. Okay. The wheel listened. It's Catching the Wind. That's one of my rereads that I want to do. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, this is Catching the Wind by Melanie Dobson. I have read a number of Melanie Dobson. Oh, I actually just read Melanie Dobson earlier, or for the first week of this, but this is one of her older books. I mean, it's not that old. It came out in 2017, so 9 years ago. That's really not that old. But so Melanie Dobson was one of the first Christian fiction authors that I started reading when I got into Christian fiction a couple years ago. Oh, the dog wants to be let in, but we'll finish this up. Anyway, so I had read one of her books, and then I got a lot more of them because I knew that I liked them. And to be honest, a lot of her books have blurred together for me. This one, I just don't even remember what it's about. I don't want to read the back. I want to go into it blind. So I'm excited to reread this and hopefully really enjoy it. I know this is a World War II novel. Haven't read a World War II novel in a while. I think my mood read might change later in the week because I'm going to start with this one, but I'm kind of feeling that I want to read The Reluctant Duchess by Roseanna and White as my mood read. There's others that I want to read, but I want to continue this series while it's still fresh. You know, this is the second book in the Ladies in the Manor series. I read the first book, The Lost Heiress, 2 months ago. So I want to, earlier this year. So I want to keep it fresh, keep the series going. I don't like to space out series too much, so I'm excited. I feel like this is going to be a good reading week. Okay, we'll chat more once I have some thoughts. Sorry, it's been a minute since I've checked in. Oh, Kai's getting up just to lay back down again. It's been a minute and I've gotten some reading done. This is such a good book. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm a little over halfway through now. I am just finished page 227. Well, I finished it earlier, but yeah, just a bit over halfway. And I definitely feel like I'm reading this book for like the first time. There are like tiny things that I'm like remember. There's like one scene where one of the main characters, she's just out in these woods like researching. She's like searching for something. She's not researching, she's literally searching for something in the woods. And like I do remember that she got stranded and she couldn't get like back. And so I like did remember that. I just had kind of remembered this like general sense of like, oh, one of the characters gets stuck out in the woods or the fields or something without a ride, basically. Never fear, she is all right. The character is all right. But yeah, that's like literally the only thing that I'm like, oh yeah, like I kind of recall that. Everything else has been like completely brand new to me, so this doesn't even feel like a reread. But I did go back on Goodreads and look to see when I read this book for the first time, and it was in 2020, I believe. And I rated it 5 stars back then. I don't feel like this is a 5-star read so far, but 2020 was when I like really dove like head first back into reading. I think during that era of my life, during that like time period, I was more prone to give something a 5-star if I did just love it. Then now I'm like, you have got to wow me. And you know, like this is a really good book. Absolutely no hate. More like, not even hate, more just like shade to my younger self of being like, girl, what was like, why are we just handing out 5 stars like candy? Anyway, what is this book about? Thank you for asking. I'll tell you. So it is a time split historical fiction. The historical timeline is following this young girl, Bridget. Actually, let me not start with the historical. Let me start with the present day. Present day in 2017, we are following Quinby, and she lives in London. She's American, but she lives in London, and she is a journalist, and she gets contacted one day by this attorney who is like, hey, my client wants to hire you to find this woman. And she's like, I'm not a private investigator. And he's like, no, he's handpicked you to do this. And so she kind of gets like forced into it, but also like she ends up getting some like forced leave at work, so she has time to do it. So she starts searching for this girl who went missing back in World War II, and the client, this man who's like 75 years old, has been searching for her. They were best friends as kids, and they had to run for their life during the war, during World War II, and then they got separated, and he's been searching for her for literally like decades and decades and decades, which is crazy, but like dedication. And then the historical timeline is following Bridget, who is the girl that he is looking for. And I just really, and kind of exploring like what happened to her. And I really love how this is being told, because when Quinby makes a discovery about something, we then like kind of get to go back and experience it from Bridget's perspective, and then get like the next little tidbit of like, okay, this is sort of what happened after that. And then we go back to Quinby and she's like learning about it. And it's just such a beautiful, like, it's not repetitive, because it's like we're learning about pieces of the story from both of them, and it just, they fit hand in hand so well. And I love it. I love it so much. It is so good. I have just been like eating it up. It's really easy to read, but that's basically what this book is about. And I probably am going to finish it like either tomorrow or the next day. But low-key probably tomorrow, because I really like it. So anyway, yeah, I'll let y'all know more thoughts as I get farther along. Hey y'all. No more reading has gotten accomplished, but that's okay. I thought I would go ahead and, I don't know, maybe just do some more like fun vlog stuff. Well, not that reading isn't fun, but just like lifestyle vlogging, I guess. I'm trying to, I feel like I said this in a vlog a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember, but I'm trying to be more like intentional with my channel, and every time I try, or I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, it just doesn't work. And like, if you are a booktuber, like specifically a Christian booktuber in this space, or I guess just really any booktuber, but like you're doing this on top of your full-time job, how do you stay organized and on top of things, and how do you not let booktube just like slide to the back burner a lot of the time? Like, it's not that booktube slides to the back burner, but like a lot of the times I'm like flying by the seat of my pants with like, what videos am I gonna do, like when am I gonna film, when am I gonna edit? Like, it's truly a let me fit this into my free time, and I'd much rather it be like a okay, for like this time chunk I'm gonna work on YouTube, and then like this time chunk I'm gonna do this. I'd love to hear any tips, tricks, and strategies. With all that being said, I'm gonna try and tackle some channel stuff. I have a little list of video ideas that I'm gonna kind of like, I'm gonna look at my calendar and try and like plan out when I want to have each one, which I've tried to do this before and it didn't really work, but maybe I can try again. I don't know. So I've unearthed my planner that I haven't used since school, which I graduated like in December. So wait, I need to like open up to the right month. What month are we in? We're in June. So maybe I'm gonna actually try and use a planner again, and we'll kind of like, we'll see how this goes. My ideal is vlogs out on Tuesday, sit down videos out on Friday. That's been my goal. I did not get a sit down video out last week, but I did get a vlog out this past like Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, don't really know what the point of this clip was other than to just kind of ask for help. Please, I need some tips. And now I'm going to try and plan this out and then film a couple videos, probably just 2 today. But anyway, that's what we're doing. I just put eardrops in my ears because I've had so much like water in them and I don't want to get swimmer's ear, because I used to get swimmer's ear like a lot as a kid, and so I put like swimmer's ear drops in them to like clear it up. It burns so bad. It hurts. And like I remember that like when I used to do it as a kid it would hurt, but like I do not remember it burning this bad. Like I've literally just been walking around my room just like fanning my ears because it hurts. But like I think that means that it's working. And when I went to CVS or Walgreens or whatever, when I went to the drugstore to like buy it, there were lots of different options, and some of them were like more like homeopathic, like natural stuff, and that was more expensive. So I was like, I'll just get the one with like alcohol in it that is like instant drying. It like clears up the water. Was that a good choice? I don't know. It always worked when I was younger, so I don't know. Anyway, reading update. I am almost finished with Catching the Wind. I have a little bit left and I'm gonna save this and finish it tonight. I'm gonna take a different book to work with me, but my thoughts on it so good. I can definitely see why I rated this a 5-star when I first read it. I would say it's sitting at a good like 4.25 right now, maybe even 4.5. We shall see. Just the way that the stories are weaving together, and like what's so funny is, or ironic, it's not funny, what's ironic to me is that last week when I was reading Love Amid the Ashes, I was doing a lot of complaining, rightfully so, about all of the different perspective shifts. And in this book, in the historical, there are some different perspective shifts, and some of them I haven't liked, some of them I haven't, but like we mostly are following Bridget, and her perspective. She's the girl that like the guy is trying to find, and well, and also like the reporter is trying to find, but it's mostly from Bridget's perspective. But there have been like 2 or 3 chapters from like a different character's perspective that provide some context, and I don't hate it. It's not my favorite, but it definitely is not taking me out of the story and making me want to bang my head against a wall like the book I read last week. So I'm appreciating that, but like I think this is an example of where sometimes like multiple POVs in one timeline, or just multiple POVs beyond the 1 or 2 main ones, can be good for the book. Not all the time, and some of them I'm a little iffy on, but like, you know, it has to be done well. And at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is I think Melanie Dobson has done it well. It's not taking me out of the story. It's keeping me connected to the story. It's giving me context for characters that if we hadn't had their little POV chapter, we would have never known what had happened to them. And so I do like that. Anyway, so that's all my thoughts on Catching the Wind. Really, really, really enjoy it. Reminding me why Melanie Dobson has been a favorite author for me. Okay, and then the book I'm going to start today is The Reluctant Duchess. I did not switch up what mood read I'm going to do. I've been thinking about this book and I just really want to read it. So I'm going to start this at work today during nap time, because I feel like I would finish Catching the Wind during that time, and I don't love to just finish one book and immediately pick up a new one. So I'm going to start this, and then I also have it on audio on Hoopla because I want to listen to it. I'm driving to visit my fiance this weekend, and it's like 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So I definitely want to get some listening done in the car to that, because I'm trying to be a little more into audiobooks. We'll see. I feel like if I have a long drive, then I'm more inclined to want to listen to an audiobook. But most of the time, I prefer physical reading. Anyway, I'm really excited to start this and get back into this series. And yeah, so those are my little reading updates. I'll check in with you once I've done some more. I just finished Catching the Wind. It was really good. I definitely felt like I was reading it again for the first time. It had a really good resolution, and I felt like the pacing and everything was like so good, and I loved it. I'm really glad that I chose to reread it, and it's kind of made me want to read more wartime stuff again because of how good it was. So yeah, definitely think you should go check this out. I feel like I don't hear a lot of booktubers talking about this book. I don't hear enough booktubers talking about Melanie Dobson in general, but yeah, this one has a lot of good faith content in it, in both timelines, but really specifically in the like present day timeline. The reporter Quimby, like, she leans on her faith and has some faith development in it. So what is my hair doing? Why is it like plastering to the side of my face? That's weird. Anyway, 4.5 stars. Please go check it out. Loved it. And yeah, okay, that's all I wanted to say was that I finished it. All right, we are on the road, headed to go visit my fiance. I went on a run this morning, and let me tell y'all, my legs hurt. It was the fastest I have run so far. I've been running for like a year and a couple months, ready to just sit for 2 hours, and listen to The Reluctant Duchess. I started it yesterday. I made it about 4 or 5 chapters in, and so far, like, the premise is really good. It's very different from book 1. So far we have like 2 main characters. The first is Rowena Kinnard, and she lives in Scotland, so it's not set in England, it's set in Scotland so far. Within the first chapter, we have learned that she has been taken advantage of by the man that her father has like demanded that she has to marry, and like he knows that this man like assaulted her. She doesn't want to marry him because obviously he's abusive and assaulted her. Also, this is set in 1912. And then we also have the male main character is Bryce, and Bryce was in book 1 as a side character, but like a pretty significant side character. He played a big role in kind of towards the end of book 1, so I won't say exactly how because I don't want to spoil it. But he is kind of known as like a flirt in the like society, the social like, yeah, society, English society. But every year his family goes on a like trip to Scotland. They have a house there, you know, as one does, just have a house in Scotland, and they go on a trip there and kind of engage with Scottish society for a little bit. Rowena's family is crossing paths with Bryce's family, and it's a little complicated because they've never crossed paths before, and I don't really want to get into the weeds of why, but there's some conspiracies, not conspiracies, that's the wrong word. There's some behind the scenes of like trying to set up certain people to get Rowena out of her betrothal to the abuser, which is good. And anyway, a little complicated, and I'm not doing it justice because I'm not explaining it very well, but it's very intriguing so far. I really like it. Feeling a lot of intrigue. I really like Bryce's character so far. He's very in tune with the Holy Spirit, and it is being written so well. The way that Bryce is a flirt is not in a it's not in a rude or like player way. It's not in a player way, that's what I'm trying to say. It's in a like, he's trying to be chivalrous and like not use the ladies around him, the young ladies around him. Anyway, I'm going to listen to it for the next like 2 hours while I'm on the road, and yeah, hopefully get a couple chapters through it. Hey, 2 days later, and I have some reading updates, and I also have a mini book haul, so we'll do both in this clip. But I am a little over halfway through The Reluctant Duchess. Oh, I also got Touch Bros while I was out. I really love their like sparkling soda drinks. I've gotten lots of different flavor combos, but today I got the peach and strawberry. I think it's called like Rose City. It's good. I like it. Anyway, The Reluctant Duchess. A little over halfway through, and I'm liking it, but not as much as some of her other books. I feel like the plot has not fully gotten going in a great way. Like, I think there's a lot of directions for the plot to go, but basically, so this event happens a little further into the first 100 pages, but I do feel like if something happens in the first 100 pages, you can kind of, it's okay to talk about. But basically, Rowena and Bryce have a marriage of convenience. So now they're back in England, like, and it's literally like a whole drama of how it comes about, and it's very dramatic. And I was listening to it in the car yesterday, and I was like, whoa, what the heck is happening right now? But like, it was juicy, and I was eating it up. Like, I was locked in. But then after they returned to England from Scotland, also, my in-laws are just like making dinner. My future in-laws are just like making dinner on the other side of the wall, so don't mind them. Once they get back to England after getting married, I'm just not vibing with it as much. They're like not falling in love. They've talked about, are they gonna fall in love? And Bryce is like, yeah, we will. And Rowena's kind of like, she had a very traumatic experience. Like, she was assaulted, so I will cut her a lot of slack for that. But like, she keeps having trauma responses and she's just not opening up to him, which, like, fair, they've only known each other for like 3 weeks. But I feel like it's very real life of like, yes, this is exactly how someone would respond in this situation, but because it's exactly how someone would respond, it's not making the story very entertaining because it's slow, and Rowena is taking a long time to like try to even attempt to try and trust Bryce and talk to him and like, you know, even think about loving him. And I'm like, girl, like, we've got a plot. We've got a plot to think about here. I am genuinely enjoying it. Like, I would say right now, this is between a 3.5 to 4 star read. It's caught my attention. I'm enjoying it. But there's just, it's a little slow in some parts. But anyway, should we do a little book haul? I think we should. Okay, so whenever my fiance and I have to go to the jeweler where he got my ring, it's in the same like strip mall as a discount Christian book store. So we had to go, I had to go get it checked for like a 6-month inspection and cleaning and everything today. So obviously we went to the bookstore and I got some books that I totally did not plan on getting, but it's okay. That's what book shopping is all about. So I got 4 new books and we'll just go through them one by one. The first of which, I totally was not planning on getting this book, but I saw it and I've heard good things about it, and I've heard that a lot of people want to read it. So I picked up The Summer of Yes by Courtney Walsh. I kind of know what this is about. I know it's kind of like a bucket list type of vibe of just like saying yes to everything. I don't really know much more about it, but I think I might read this like soon because it has summer in the title, which is one of the Christian fiction bingo prompts this month, and I totally have not fulfilled that prompt at all. So this is definitely an option. And then I also got Midnight on the Scottish Shore by Sarah Sundin. I don't know what this book is about, but I know it's by Sarah Sundin, and I really, really love Sarah Sundin. So I decided to pick it up. The last time I was in that bookstore, this book was there and I didn't get it because I have a limit of how much I can buy. And I was like, there were other books I wanted more. Have I read any of those books? No, but it's okay because it's a new time of going. And then I got The Atlas of Untold Stories by Sarah Brunsvold because after I read The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp, I was like, I think I should read more by Sarah Brunsvold, and I saw this there and I was like, absolutely yes, I will get it. And then this was funny, when I was checking out, the girl who was like ringing me up, she was like, oh, like I've seen this book, like I think I want to read it. And so I was like, yeah, I read this other book by her and I really, really loved it. And I was telling her about it. She was like, oh, what was it about? And I was telling her, and I so badly wanted to be like, yeah, I have a full like review of it on YouTube if you want to check it out. But I felt like that was obviously not something that one should just say. You should not just self-plug at the checkout line at the bookstore, but it was funny. But she seemed kind of sold on my like 30-second description. Okay, and then I was totally not planning to like seriously consider reading this book until I found it for I don't know why I did 3, for $6. Theo of Golden by Levi. $6. This book at my local library has like 70 people waiting to read it. And so I didn't even bother like getting on the wait list for it because I was like, I don't think I'll even want to read it at that point. $6. I'm so excited about it. Okay, that's my mini book haul. I'll check in after I've done some more reading of The Reluctant Duchess.
Alright, y'all, I have made it back home from my little weekend away, and I finished The Reluctant Duchess earlier today. It was really good. I enjoyed this book, not as much as some of her other books, as I mentioned previously. There were just some things that weren't my favorite in it. Definitely check out some trigger warnings for this book if you do decide to read it. Big, like, assaults, like sexual assault, domestic violence, things like that, for sure. It took me out of the story a little, which normally that stuff doesn't, but I just felt like, unfortunately, the assault that happens to Rowena at the beginning of the book does literally dominate and like put a cloud over, or not put a cloud, it literally influences the entire rest of the plot. So we're constantly, as the reader, looking into Rowena and then Bryce's perspectives as Bryce is trying to get to know Rowena. We are forced to reckon with the fact that she was assaulted, and while this incident does not happen on page, we don't read the particulars of it. She has some like nightmarish flashbacks to it, but we truly do not read the particulars of it. We are constantly having to be reminded of the fact that this happened, and like I could see how that could be very triggering for somebody, and it is not something that I like to dwell on at all. So it was a little hard for me to read that for Rowena, just because I was like, dang, like this literally like changed her entire life for like what she thought was the worst possible, and then it ended up like being redeemed by the Lord and used for good, but like it still was awful and horrible and sinful, and like not on Rowena's part, on her attacker's part, obviously. All of that aside, I did enjoy the book. I liked how it continued the thread of like the diamonds that have the like curse, and that's really explored in this book of like, are curses real? Are evil spirits real? Like, can you have evil spirits and not have good spirits? Like, really interesting. Because of her Scottish heritage, she is a little more prone to believe in curses. So when she first learns of the diamonds, she's like, what? Like, you made me like marry into your like family that has this curse attached to it, and she's just like a little put off by that, which I guess if you grow up thinking that curses are real, which like this book really grapples with that question of like, is the curse real? So the story does not, like that whole storyline does not get wrapped up in this book. I know, well, I had a feeling by the end of the book, but then when I read the author's note, it was confirmed who I think the third book is going to be about, and it's going to be about Bryce's younger sister, Ella, and I really liked her as a character in this book. We really got to know her more, so I'm looking forward to reading the third book, tying it all up. Overall, I give this book a 3.5 stars. It's not my favorite by Roseanna M. White, but it is also, think that's just like I still really liked it, and I do think that was just because of the heavier topics and how frequently we as the reader were asked to deal with them. Those are my final thoughts on The Reluctant Duchess. I desperately need to go to bed now because I have work tomorrow, but make sure you stay tuned for next week's vlog where we see what the TBR wheel picks, what my mood read pick is, yeah, all of the things. But thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye!